Well, hey, stranger. It has been. As soon as I start recording, start getting notifications. But anyway, I think it's been somewhere around a year and a half, maybe 2 years since I last posted. Um, the whole purpose of the channel was to follow me on like a weight loss journey, trying different types of diets or fads or whatever it may be. And the last go around, I was trying the carnivore diet. Now, this is 2 years later. Obviously, I still have not lost the weight. Um, so, I have yet to find something or the motivation to help me. That's my own fault. I take full responsibility. I've let life happen, and it is what it is. But yeah, so the last updates that I was making regularly was during my time with carnivore. So I just give you some like just little thoughts now that time has passed since I did carnivore and since I went back to eating the normal American diet. Um, I felt amazing on carnivore. I still have habits that I picked up during that time. Some of them good habits, some of them not so good habits, but habits nonetheless. I guess I could share those. The first habit that I picked up is I started replacing my dessert, like a sweet after a meal, with a glass of milk. And I like ice in my milk. A lot of people find that like really, really weird, but I love it. And it's something that even though it does have the calories in it, it definitely doesn't have the amount of sugar that I would normally have consumed after a meal. I would normally have went for like the ice cream, a little Debbie cake, something like that. But I still do that, but nowhere near at the frequency that I used to. So, and I still have my milk habit. So, for better or for worse, if you look at it in the sense that I've replaced a sugary habit with a not sugary habit, it's a good habit. But if you look at the fact that I eat without any restriction and then add on the additional calories from the milk on top of it, is still not the greatest. Plus, I'm not getting like pasture raised fancy schmancy milk. I'm not getting the local milk that is available to me. I'm just getting regular old grocery store milk. So I'm probably intaking a lot of hormones. So, end of the day, probably not the best habit, but just putting it out there. Um, Habit number two that I picked up that is not a good habit is I fell in love with salt. A lot of the people that follow carnivore will use only salt to season their food and or just consume high amounts of salt as like their electrolyte or even just eat salt. And I did pick up on that habit. Back then, I already had high blood pressure. It did not make it worse. Since then, I have not noticed any issue with the salt making my blood pressure issues worse. Honestly, I don't seem to have consistent high blood pressure. Um, so I don't know, can't explain that one, but the salt has become a habit. I fell in love with the Himalayan pink salt, like the really, really coarse stuff. It gives food texture, and then it's got a whole different other flavor. It's superior to sea salt, in my opinion. But anyway, fell in love with it, and still, I consume a lot more salt now than I used to before trying to do the carnivore diet. I was on for a total of 47, 48, 49 days, somewhere along those lines of about a month and a half. And I felt great. it was expensive. In the long run, you could definitely save money, but I was finding that just me eating carnivore, my family eating normal, it tend to make our grocery bill more expensive. Um, and also it left me in a lot of situations where I felt very left out, and I ended up just falling back into old habits, especially at that time when we were doing carnivore. We were in the process of remodeling to open this store. So that was a huge project, a lot of stressors that were on us, and a lot of times I just did not want to go home and cook. Um, so I fell into the habit of convenience, and there I am. Since then, there's been a couple of times where I may kind of get on a little bit of a kick going to the gym. I love going to the gym. I feel great when I go to the gym, but I just don't do it consistently enough, and I use a lot of time as an excuse. It's not that I don't want to exercise. I don't mind exercising. It's just the simple fact of I just don't get the motivation to get up and go. It's just another excuse. There's no um, sugarcoating it. it. I can't say that my condition I'm currently in is anybody's fault but my own. But anyway, so I do have a gym membership. I am able to go. My schedule has just been kind of wild, especially over the last 3 months or so. The last few weeks have been much more calm, but I'd say the spring through summer, beginning of summer, was insane. Sun up to sundown and beyond, wide open. Neither here nor there. Back on now. I've rambled for 7 minutes, but I just felt like since it's been a little while since I had been on here that I'm probably a new face. I'm sure that none of the original people that had subscribed are gonna watch this, but I let life, I let life get in the way. So I am now ready to try something. My husband is on board. My father-in-law is on board. My daughter's on board. Um, we want to do kind of a modified 75 hard. I cringe at the thought of 75 hard. So that's why we're doing like modified. I've seen it be called 75 soft. Um, but we are going to try to stick to 45-minute workouts per day, not the two 45-minute workouts. Eventually, we may work up to that. But that is an hour and a half of a very cramped day already to try to fit in. We are getting up at 5:55 a.m. I don't understand the full reason behind the 5:55. My husband tried to explain it to me, but 5:55 a.m. drinking a gallon of water a day. Let's see. It was the workouts, the water, the waking up early. See, this would have been a lot better if I'd had my list directly in front of me. And I know that I also included personal things on my list, like staying on top of a social media post. I am running a business and I am an event coordinator, so I'm on social media 24/7 working. And so I just wanted to add in there like every single day make a social media post, because sometimes I just get in these ruts where I just don't know what else to post. I get kind of I guess creative fatigue. So I want to try to make just the effort every single day to put something out there. Um, I made a cleaning habit, so just like clean, sorry, cleaning or organizing something that normally gets overlooked. We have a lot of junk places just randomly throughout the house that, just in the day to day shuffle, we just tend to let things gravitate into those spots. So I wanted to start kind of tackling and organizing some of these places and kind of get them taken care of. We actually did one yesterday, even though we didn't officially start till today. We went through our pantry and all of our canned goods and all of that kind of stuff. Found stuff that was 2, 3 years out of date, shoved to the back of the cabinet. So we went through. We organized the pantry. Trying to think what else I had on mine, because I had 10 items on mine. I guess I can update tomorrow and actually have my list and be a little more prepared, but I just wanted to hop on here and just give kind of a life update and say, here we go again. We're going to give it a go. 75 days. We're going to try to meet each one of these standards. One of the ones that we are going to kind of stray from 75 hard is 75 hard is strictly zero alcohol. And I want to be able to drink in a social setting. We've got birthday parties coming up. We've got several social events, girls' nights, XYZ. And I don't want to say that I can't sit down at girls' night with a margarita. So I will allow myself an alcoholic beverage once per week. If I do not have a social event that week, then I just won't drink. But if a social event falls during the 75 hard, we can have one per week, basically, is what we're going to try to stick to. I'm sure people have opinions about that, but I feel like that is a fair compromise, that I will still be able to go out and participate, but yeah. Oh, and yeah, see, there's how my brain's working. The diet portion of it, 75 hard, I think is like no breads, no sugars, no, I don't know. It's a lot. It's like you will be eating lettuce, basically. Um, we're just going to do a calorie count deficit. My husband said he's going to do fasting, the intermittent fasting. I don't know. I've been back and forth. I've had times that I've tried it for a couple of weeks, seen zero results. I've had times that I've tried it for a few weeks and I've seen really good results. So I don't know. I don't like the way I feel when I'm fasting, but I guess I've never really given it more than maybe 3 weeks tops, which may not be enough time for my body to adjust to it and start running um, in a different pattern, I guess. But he's going to try that. Me, I'm just going to try to stay in a calorie deficit. So I went into a couple of different apps that I've had on my phone for quite a few years and just kind of got the ballpark estimate of what the apps would suggest for me to lose 1.5 pounds a week. And it was falling anywhere in between 1,400 to 1,650 for my height and my weight. And so I'm going to go to the low end of that with, maybe an occasional bump up to that 1,650. So we're going to go 1,400 calories a day. Maybe an occasional I might go to 1,650, and gallon of water a day, avoiding alcohol except for the one per week if there's a social event. I do have kind of business work related stuff thrown in there. 10 pages of educational or motivational, um, like books per day. That's still a part of it that we're going to include. I'm not going to do 10 pages. I'm going to do one chapter because I listen to audiobooks. I'm not the kind of person that can stare at the page, and I'll have to read the same paragraph over 3 or 4 times if my brain is not all the way in it, like fully concentrated. So I do so much better when I can mindlessly work on something and listen, and it's like having my hands busy working on something and like my attention on something kind of mindless. I retain the information so much better. So audiobooks for me. But yeah, I will. Yeah, I guess sometime the next couple of days, I will do like a breakdown of like the starting point. I may even pull my old videos up and kind of see where I started out with carnivore, where I ended up at, because honestly, off the top of my head, I don't remember. and kind of get you guys some stats, some photos, and I will update you tomorrow. So I'm back.